As soon as we started, like, I had the courage to go up to a band that I liked and give them my record and, like, have a conversation with them. That really changed everything. Like, it literally changed everything. We got in contact with a small indie label through them later and put out our first record. But, like, all that time you spend obsessing about the business end of it and how you're gonna get out there is so secondary to putting on a good show and really organically building your band, because that's, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna happen if it's meant to happen is my philosophy about everything, and especially in music, because it's just in this environment, in this society, it's so easy to just obsess about how we're gonna make it when you're, like, looking at it and you're like, some of these bands are so big and they're so bad, how can I do this, you know? Like, how can I get what they have? So,
if you rock them, they will come.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
And I think that's what I try to teach each year with the Warped Tour, is have the people who have been around and been able to make this their whole lives. Ultimately, we've been able to do this our whole lives for one reason or another, because it wasn't. I know Bad Religion. How long did it take you guys to get, like, a gold record one day? Did it just, like, how many years? Or
The gold record came out in '94. And we started as a band in 1980.
yeah. So that's what I'm trying to teach these bands, and I've always tried to teach them, and that's why you'll always see bands like, you know, Pennywise and the Vandals and Bad Religion coming back on Warped, and because it's the history. And the one thing I want them is to the younger bands, and I thought we had that for a while, where they were meeting the older bands and kind of like, because I wanted to say it's not overnight success, it's the long run. It's not being your chart position the first week, because everyone got so worried that it didn't come out the first week. These guys get, it took them, I don't know, 15 years, so many years, but they've been able to make this their whole life. And that's what I tell young people, see how you can run this thread of music forever. And I think it's funny because it has allowed Brett to run Epitaph Records, do other things. Joe Escalante with everything he does. Myself, I wasn't really a musician, but I love the music. And it's how can you keep that thread? And if you can keep that thread of music through your whole life, it makes you happy. Trust me. Sometimes I have to go dig ditches at shows, but at least I'm doing them at a rock show and not on the side of the road, you know?
And talking about the long run mentality, just to finish up what I was saying before I jumped off on a tangent. When we started talking to Brett, he had basically told us about in 2002 when he saw our band and was interested in signing us or whatever, but had just found out that we had just signed a Maverick. Of course, after you have the songs and the songs are great, something that's very, very important is if people are coming to you, you need to make sure. I mean, there's no money being thrown at anybody anymore anyway, so it's a little bit different than a few years ago. But you need to make sure that you have that family that loves your band. The president of the label coming to you saying, "I love your band. I love this song. I love this song. I like what you guys do. I believe in you. I have faith in you." That's something that we hadn't had in a few years. And when Brett started telling us stories about shows that we played years ago that way back in our memory, all of a sudden, that was the greatest feeling ever. And we have basically joined a family. This isn't a business machine like we were used to. We're now a part of a family. And Brett said, he didn't say, "Hey, I'm thinking about signing you guys so I can get a platinum record on this wall and we can make a ton of money." He said, I love your band. I believe you guys can be a long-term success. Let's be a part of it. So we said, cool. We start at noon tomorrow. Let's do this. Literally, that's exactly how it happened. And it's good to feel like a part of a family. But it shows you the importance of after the songs are written and they're great songs and you guys have your heads on straight and everything. You need to find people that believe in you, because otherwise you're just signing up to work with a label that's running it like an office supply store.
I mean, hits are nice, but I think everybody would rather have a career than just the hits.
But that doesn't go just for a label either. I mean, same thing. You're gonna managers will approach you, booking agents will approach you. If you're gonna work with people, just make sure it's someone you wouldn't mind hanging out with. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna spend a lot of time with that person.